Morning, everybody. Dr. Kenton wakes up. I'm Dr. Kenton. Good morning. Today is Friday, April 5th, 2024. How are you? I hear you. So this morning, I'm walking Winston. It is not raining this morning. First time since I got back to town late Saturday. Since then, virtually every time I've taken Winston for a walk, it's been raining or drizzling. And today, none of that. Road was dry. In fact, the grass was only the same kind of damp that you'd expect if there was dew on the grass. Maybe it was dew. Anyway, today, look off to the mostly toward the east, and you see there's a little teeny tiny sliver of a moon. Little tiny, teeny tiny sliver. And it's just before sunrise, so we're on the wane. There's supposed to be a total eclipse, I would guess, in a couple of days. 7th, 8th, I don't remember. Somebody, I'm sure, out there is shouting, saying, "Hey, Dr. Kenton, why don't you pay attention to all the news articles that talk about people traveling to a certain segment of the country so that they can stare at the sky for a couple of minutes and see the moon pass directly in front of the sun and cast the corona shadow on the ground, or at least so you can see the corona." This is known, in other words. It's fine. Um, One of the podcasts I was listening to this morning talked about some things you don't recognize until much later. And if you're interested in the Police, they had an album called Ghost in the Machine, and there's three uh, red figures on a black background. And I'm led to believe that those red figures are, I'll say, digital. I don't know what the right word is, but it looks like an alarm clock, an old school alarm clock that had LEDs. It looks like that, but with more definition, where you could, have somewhat rounded figures instead of, what do they call it? There's a 7 segment one where you got these rectangles for everything. So 7 is a line and a vertical line, a horizontal line, and 8 is all 7 lit up, and a 6 is like uh, top bar, left bar, middle bar, right and left bar on the bottom bar. That's a 7 segment display, but what they've got on the thing is not a 7 segment, because there's more you can see. Anyway, maybe they lit half, or they've got angle ones in there too. Anyway, if you look at it and you imagine to yourself, hey, that could look like the face of one of the members of the band, then you're on the right track for what the point of the story was. Things you didn't recognize until much too late. So anyway, today's Friday. Got stuff that's important to me and to others, mostly to others, to be frank. Um, Big weekend last weekend. That was Easter. We don't have a big one this weekend, unless, of course, you're an eclipse interested person. Then you're probably going someplace. It might be Sunday. I don't remember, or maybe Monday. I don't know. I got grading to do, back grading, and some other grading for the projects that are ongoing. Is that vague? Opaque? Um, and then I got some work to do to correct according to feedback. It's one thing that I've learned over time is that it's hard to hit the mark when the target moves. And it's hard to feel like the work that you're being asked to do is worth anything to anybody for real when the people who are in charge of asking you to do the work are halfway involved or complicit, or I don't know what the right word is, in cahoots with, or don't feel strongly enough to say anything against an idea that pushes things wildly in one direction or the other. I just work here. Anyway, in the coffee pot is Joe from Trader Joe's. I've got my coffee mate queued up. It's already in the cup. One of the things that I recognized about my coffee intake is that when you view your coffee intake measured in things called cups, I showed you one of these little tiny ones that I discovered lately. They hold about a third as much as this one. This one holds a little more than half of that pot, whereas the third of one third size, you get by 4 or 5 cups out of that. So instead of 2 or less than 2, you get closer to 5. Almost reminds me of the joke, the guy, big eater guy, who shows up to the pizza restaurant and orders a large pizza, and the guy behind the counter says, "Do you want us to cut that in 12 or 16 slices?" And he thinks for a while and he says, "You better make it 12 because I don't think I'm hungry enough to eat 16." You can chew on that one. And always remember, love you, bye.